Hi, today we have a very special guest today. This is Shubha Bhargava, and she is talking to us from India, which is really kind of cool. Love that technology. Um, so, Shubha, you have an incredible running resume. You've run all of the world majors, so that's New York,
Yes,
Boston, Chicago, Tokyo, Berlin, and London. And
that's
you've
right.
run them all, which is amazing. You've won your age category in the Airtel Delhi Half Marathon in 2015, the Bangalore Half Marathon in 2015 and 2016, and the Mumbai Half Marathon in 2016, which is amazing. You were the winner of the inaugural Pinkathon Marathon in Delhi in
Yes,
20, and you've completed 20 half marathons and 10 marathons all over the world. That's amazing.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, there's still some bucket list left, so we'll see.
so how did you get started running?
So that's a very interesting story, actually. First, I started out as, just going into fitness. So the thing is, when I moved to Boston, like in 2006, in 1996,
Okay.
I moved to Boston, and I don't know what started happening. Every morning I'll wake up with some muscular problems in my body, like my elbows are kind of stuck, or my neck is in a weird position. Every morning there would be some problem. So I went to doctors a lot of time, and of course they would send me with painkillers and some neck brace or elbow braces or elbow support. And then it struck me. It was I realized that my muscles were actually weakening for some reasons. I just did some research and started looking around for more information, how to build the muscles and how to, basically bring your body to normal fitness level at least. And then I started working with weights. And for cardio, I just picked up a little running. I mean, I wouldn't go more than 15-20 minutes at a time because, initially it was harder.
Mhm.
And then I started to see the changes, and I got hooked up. I'm like, okay, that's what it is. And
Mhm.
then I moved to California, and the weather, I just wanted to be outside most of the time. And then that's when I started increasing the distance, and I just fell in love with the outdoors.
Yeah.
And that was the start of it, I think. I would just go out, and then I knew for 1 hour nobody's going to bother me. It was my time. And yeah, that was it. And I never quit running after that.
Wow.
It was just me time.
Mhm.
So I think that was the thing. And then races, how did I started on races? I think first time it was really funny that my husband was actually, someone signed up my husband for his first half marathon, San Jose Rock and Roll.
Mhm.
And then I said, oh, you know what? I'll also run with you. I was already running on my own, but I never signed up for races, not a single one. So I signed up with him. And then after finishing, I thought I still had a lot of juice left. I mean, I could still go on for another, couple of miles. And that, I think, encouraged me. And I'm like, that's fun. And then especially the ambience, people running around you and then encouraging you. And rock and roll is very fun, very
Yeah.
much fun, I would say. Every mile there are people, the bands are playing, people are dancing. It was amazing experience. So, that was it. Again, another thing which started after that.
Mhm. Yeah, it's
So
becomes a habit very quickly.
yes. Yeah, I mean, you feel that high each time you run a race, and then you see people around you. Everyone is in kind of in the same boat. They all like to run. They all passionate about running, and it just gives you that high, which you start to look for more often, I guess.
Do you have of all the races that you've done, does any one stick out as your favorite or the one that you're most proud of? Um,
See, it's really hard to actually. It would be hard to pick out one. I have like a couple of favorites. Some first ones. So just to name a few, I think the first I told you, my very first ever half marathon, the State San Jose Rock and Roll. If I hadn't run, I wouldn't realize that, it's so much fun. So
Yeah.
it has a special place. Then I think I ran in India, Yapinkathon. That was like, just 10K race.
Mm-hmm.
But I won big prizes for that. I had to say that I got a bike, and you won't believe I had a trip to the Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like amazing, I mean, I felt amazing. And then third one was my Mumbai marathon, which obviously holds a special place in my heart, because I qualified for Boston.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's.
And yeah, San Francisco one, again, that was my very first international marathon, and I was in the podium. I hold third place. So, they have some point. I mean, all of these have special places, but and then New York Marathon, because it was my PB
Mm-hmm.
in all the major marathons. So yeah, these are few of them. But yeah, I mean, Mumbai one was really good because that was I because another thing is, whenever runners start to run, Boston becomes their, this sacred place where they want to run.
Yeah.
So I qualified for Boston in that one. So it truly special for me, the
Wow.
Mumbai Marathon.
That's really impressive. I've only been a spectator in Boston. Uh,
Yeah, that was, again, I mean, it was 26.2 miles of spectators. I mean, there was rarely any place where I didn't find people. It was amazing to see
it's
that.
a big event. People really enjoy coming out, even if they don't have a family member or a friend who's running. They
Yeah,
just like to come out for the event, which I think is
yes, I totally agree. Actually, lot of people were like that. I mean, they were just there to cheer you up.
Mhm.
No runners in their family were running or something.
Yeah,
Amazing.
right. So, you described running as your me time. Are you
Yeah.
more of a solo runner, or do you ever run with?
So for my regular runs, I prefer to be alone because I can, first of all, I can tweak my running during that period. That, okay, this is not, maybe my form is faltering. I have more time to reflect on my running and the problems I am going through, or I'm thinking about anything which needs some kind of solution. So most of the time, I love to run alone. But there are times when I love to have company. For example, long and slow runs when I'm training for my marathon.
Yep.
Those are kind of runs you don't want to do alone.
Yes.
So I'll grab a friend, or if nothing else, my husband, I'll ask him, okay, can you bike with me? So that helps actually during those long runs.
Hmm.
But most of the time, yeah, I love to be on my own. It just gives me time to think about, or not think at all if I don't want to. And I'm not obligated to talk, because when you are running with someone, it's really hard to just not talk. You can do that. I'm pretty sure a lot of runners do that. They run together, but they don't talk to each other.
Uh-huh.
But so I think, yeah, that's my time. I prefer to be alone.
Hmm. It's great. It's in the US, running has gotten so much more popular in the last decade or so. How popular is running as a sport in India?
Actually, it's really interesting because when I moved, I was a little apprehensive about it. And initially, when I started running, even after moving, yeah, I didn't stop,
Mhm.
from running. So um, I would go out and run, and yeah, I could see that it was still new. It was like in 2011, it was still a little bit new thing for a woman to actually run on the street. And I prefer outdoor running. I always preferred outdoor running. Going from California, I wouldn't imagine myself stuck on a treadmill
Yeah.
unless the weather is so bad that I can't run outside. I Nothing can hold me inside. And I realized actually more and more women were actually running.
Uh-huh.
They started from 2011, or maybe I was not paying attention, I thought
Mhm.
earlier. So it has become extremely popular now. And in India, actually, when you go to a race, you would see more than 50% of women running,
Wow.
which is really awesome. I feel really great and proud for, women, that they are coming out and they are taking care of themselves. So it makes me really proud.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's getting where probably the United States has a
Mhm.
lot of women running, and then taking up the sports and all. It is great,
Yeah,
really great.
that's great. And you're a personal trainer, um,
Yes,
and you're focusing on women and teens. And
yes.
talk a little bit about that. Why is that so important?
I am an electrical engineer by profession.
Okay.
So the thing is, I
That's
was working.
it.
So I was working in Boston, and after, then my daughter was born and all that, and I decided to stay home.
Mhm.
And meanwhile, since I was working out so much, I just thought that, maybe it would be a good idea, because when I started taking care of myself, like, about my muscle problems, I told you, I thought I couldn't find enough answers from anyone. I would, since being a woman, I would have felt comfortable talking to someone who, a woman trainer, for example.
Uh-huh.
And I thought I didn't find that many trainers back then. Uh, and I thought it would be a great idea if, I can be, uh, you know, kind of helpful to other women as well who are going through the same situation, because I found out all the information through the different magazines and whatever I could do through research. But yeah, I didn't come across female trainers back then. So
Mhm.
I thought that would be very cool, that you can tell them, yeah, things are, and especially being a woman, that helps. I know more about woman body, obviously. So I
Right.
can tell people that that's what helped me, and maybe
Yeah.
this is something you want to think about. So I took my certification in California. It's like American Council on Exercise, ACE.
Okay.
So I took the certification, and in YMCA I started working. And it was amazing. As a trainer, I could see that women would come, women and teens, they
Mhm.
would come, and then they will head straight to the cardio machines. Nobody would ever care about their about weightlifting, for example.
Yeah.
And I thought that's not a way to go.
Mhm.
We lose about 5% of muscle mass every year. So especially with women, it's actually more.
Mhm.
So just imagine if they know and they start working out. For example, both my kids actually work out with weights. They are, they are in their teens, and both of them are actually. I have told them that you need to work with your weights and keep it up,
Yeah.
because the muscle mass just goes down every year. And so that's what I thought, that being a trainer, female trainer, I can help out the women and teens more. And actually I did connect with a lot of in because I started working in YMCA, and eventually I had like a lot of clients in my garage. I started training,
Yep.
and there was connect. I could see that a lot of things they didn't know.
Yeah.
It was very simple, as like even if you work out with weights 3 times a week for 15 to 20 minutes a week, that's more than enough. You don't have to spend like hours and hours building up muscles. And that just helped them big time, because obviously I know women and teen, they have better things to do. Well, men also do. It's just that I don't focus on men. But just telling that you can do them 15 minutes or 20 minutes, depending on the availability of time, that helps.
Yep.
And I guess that helped them tremendously.
Yeah.
They started working with me, and then they carried on even after me. When I left and moved away, they carried on. So I'm feel really great about that I could connect with all my clients.
Yeah. And I think for women too, it's so important is you not only lose muscle mass, but you can lose bone mass as well.
Exactly.
And you make yourself, if you're not fit, you can be more susceptible to falls. And if you've lost that,
Osteoporosis and all this. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So that's great. Um, so when you have a race, do you have a pre-race routine? Like, are there certain things you do the night before or the morning of the race?
See, one thing I figured out along the way, that the night of the race, the sleep is really bad. You just can't sleep. I don't know, it's the butterflies in stomach, nervousness, or whatever. So I figured out a way that, focus on the sleep a week before. Start, I mean, focus at least. For example, a week before, I'll start to sleep a little bit early, half an hour,
Mm-hmm.
and try to get sleep early on
Yeah.
during that week. And because you can't ever rely on the sleep on the night before. I hope this accumulation helps. It helped me, I think. Sleep accumulation, I call it. And the day before the race, yeah, that is the most stressful day, I feel. So I would turn off all the social media things, and kind of bringing myself focus on the zone,
Mm-hmm.
that, okay, don't talk too much. This is my weird routine, not talking too much. Okay, people can talk, but I would listen. Don't expect response from me. My feet are up, I'm watching some useless movie or whatever it is coming, so basically to keep my mind off from the race.
Okay.
That's the night before. And then just hydrate. Hydration all day. I'm hydrating big time. And in the night, of course, eat early, sleep early. And
Mm-hmm.
in the morning, just go through the motion of, like having a breakfast, and then and
Mm-hmm.
show up at the start line, not thinking about it till I actually start the race, really helps. So I
Yeah.
focus on that.
Let you relax a little bit and
Yes.
kind
Yeah.
of, yeah, that's interesting. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people get a little bit crazy the night before a
Yeah.
race.
No, I think, this is again an ongoing process that you actually kind of figure yourself out.
Yeah.
So this is another great thing about running, that,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you are knowing more and more about yourself, which is great, I think.
Yeah.
So then you realize, okay, in the last race, this is what actually made me a little anxious. So I'm going to avoid it.
Yep.
So it's like, you keep fixing things along the way.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you brought up a really great point is as a runner, you're getting to know yourself and you know
Yeah,
what you need.
exactly.
Yeah. And I think, there are certain things that a coach can tell you early on, but you kind of have to develop your own routine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think knowing yourself is the biggest thing, I guess. I have learned about myself so much. And probably, you figure out, yeah, this is a problem with me, but you know what, I'm okay with it. So I guess, yeah, running is great. You ask me anytime, I would say that.
So what would, if somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, I know you're a runner. I'm thinking about trying it." What advice do you give them? What do you tell them?
I would say just make a plan,
Hmm.
uh, and then divide it into smaller plans, and then just stick to it. I feel consistency is the greatest thing. I
Hmm.
mean, to do anything well, I mean, forget about running. Anything, if you want to do, you just have to be consistent. So, get up, make a plan, what time of the day works for you. I mean, everyone has to think about it, because some people prefer to, run in the evening. I am a morning runner.
Hmm.
So if you ask me to run in the evening, somehow by that time I lose my energy, and I would find excuses not to run.
Right.
So figure out a time for yourself, which actually where there are the least distractions,
Hmm.
and just start with very reasonable goals. Okay, not more than 10 minutes, for example. The very first day I would do that, 10 days, and then the 10 minutes. And during that 10 minutes, if I can't run, I'm going to be out. And before 10 minutes, I'm not going to be back. Next day, maybe 11 minutes, or maybe stick to another 10 minutes for the whole week. So the thing is, make your reasonable goals and then stick to them, and just carry on. That's what it is. So
And
consistency, I feel, is the biggest thing. You don't have to give up. Things don't work out initially, especially, but that's not the reason to give up.
Yeah. And, that kind of leads me to my next question. We all, every runner has a bad run every once in
Of
a
course,
while.
a lot of bad runs actually. More bad runs than good runs.
And I think, I've talked about this with several other runners. Like, you learn more from your bad runs than you do
That's true.
a good run. Um,
That's true.
yeah, like what would your advice be for somebody who's having just a terrible run?
It's just the same thing, right? And, we were just talking about how running actually teaches you quite a bit. So I feel that bad run, you take it as a coach. I
Mhm.
don't know. And next day you see, okay, last time I made this mistake. Let's not repeat that. And actually, you need some time to think about, like, why did it go wrong, and what can I do to improve it. And most of the time, I have these constructive thoughts while running itself. So I would say in running, every day is a new day. So you just don't think about what has happened already. Forget about that. Today, how I can improve my today's run is more important.
Mhm.
So I would just forget what happened. I mean, it's not like, you would just forget like that, but you force yourself not to think about the bad stuff and then focus on what I'm going to do today.
Mhm.
I think that's the key for me.
Yeah, that's great advice. And that's a good segue into another thing I wanted to talk about is, what do you see as the benefits of running outside of just the fitness benefits?
Um, I think I'm a better person because of running. Because as I told you, all. So let's say in my regular life, I have come across some problem.
Hmm.
It may be my personal life or something or some project I am doing and I'm just stuck. The first thing which comes to my mind is, let's wait till tomorrow morning. I think I'll come up with a solution for that. So I'll go in the morning, and yeah, I have come up with really great uh, solutions to the problems I'm facing. After running, suddenly my mind is cleared up, and then I'm thinking more logically without much emotions.
Hmm.
Especially in personal life, there's so much, emotions are involved. Sometimes it's really hard to decide things because you can't think practically.
Right.
So now with
Hmm.
anyone complains about, oh, I am having facing this issue, just go outside and run. So I feel I have become a better person, and it's my me time. So I have come up with really great solutions to my issues. um, and then I think I'm more forgiving when I'm running. I'm a very mean person if I don't get to run with my and everyone in my family knows, and it's like, you just go run, okay, we'll talk later. And I think I have run, and then I have realized that I am pretty decent runner. So that have actually, it has increased my confidence level quite a bit,
Uh-huh.
which applies to my regular life as well. So I think a lot of good things have happened. I
Yeah.
mean, I just can't imagine me and running apart. Running has got me all the good things in life. I'm more level-headed when I'm running. I'm calmer,
Hmm.
and of course, yeah, I can pretty much figure out if I'm stuck somewhere. I know I have this confidence that I'll figure out a way.
That's right.
So
Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me and telling your amazing story. It's been great talking to you.
thank you so much, Kristen, for having me here.
You're welcome.